queen. Rape on the washing machine. No use to fight back. MMA. Knock your nigga head like a KKK. Hush your nigga mouth if you can't walk the talk. Smokes. Me running really, really fast. Ginger eye round the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Modern day Scotty Rock a laundry lynch. Assassin, hood cleaner, coming for your Rasta queen. Rape on the washing machine. No use to fight back. MMA. Knock your nigga head like a KKK. Hush your nigga mouth if you can't walk the talk. Smoke. Me running really, really fast. Ginger eye on the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Modern day Scotty Rock a laundry lynch. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Oh, close, smoke, me running really, really fast. Ginger eye on the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Modern day Scotty Rock a laundry lynch. Or you will get turned out. No, 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 no. Suck Sullivan, don't mess with his load, or you will get undone. Spinning round and round, bleeding on the ground. Scotty Rocker, laundry killer, no remorse in this beamer. Fabric assassin, hood cleaner, coming for your Rasta queen. Rape on the washing machine. No use to fight back. MMA. Knock your nigga head like a KKK. Hush your nigga mouth if you can't walk the talk. Smokes. Me running really, really fast. Ginger eye round the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Modern day Scotty Rock a laundry lynch.
That was a bad one. Hold on. How we doing, everybody? What is going on, everybody? How we doing today? As usual. Hope we're doing well. It's a Thursday, doing our usual Thursday stream, and I did a stream on Tuesday, but it was one of those days I was just too frazzled. I had like way too much shit going on, and I feel a little bit better today. I'm hoping that maybe I can talk about a couple of different things that I tried to talk about on Tuesday. To tell you the truth, though, I got to be honest with you. I don't remember every little thing that I wanted to talk about on Tuesday, so hopefully we'll remember it. But we will have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see. We'll see how it all goes. One moment. I just have to check something real quick. Make sure I'm good here. Yes, I am good here. Yeah, I had a jujitsu tonight. I also had my last Muay Thai class yesterday. It was not my last Muay Thai class in that I am quitting Muay Thai. If anything, I'm getting back into Muay Thai. I am going to start attending classes elsewhere. Instead of having to be the coach, I'm going to be the one teaching, which is exactly where I need to be. 31 years old is too young to be a full time coach. Or maybe it's not necessarily, but that would be more if you owned your own gym or you were a personal trainer or something like that. And I'm not a personal trainer and I don't own my own gym. So because of that, I'm fucking sitting here doing work for other people. It's really bullshit. Like, I've been at this gym. I took a 2 to 3 year break because me and the owner of the gym, we got into a spat and we figured we should just go our separate ways. But I basically spent my entire career there. And I showed up late for a class last week by not even 30 minutes. It was like 20 minutes. And then by the time I got my gi on, it was like I was 25 minutes late, right? I never show up late and I'm consistently the only one who's running classes and stuff like that. If it wasn't for me, the place would go down in flames, basically. And I check the book that I write all of the money that I'm owed down in. And usually what I do is I front load. So it's like if I come in on Monday, I'm going to write Monday Muay Thai, Tuesday Jiu-Jitsu, Wednesday Muay Thai, Thursday Jiu Jitsu, and I'm going to write the corresponding amount of hours that I'm going to be teaching. And because of that, fucking like whether I'm late or not, I usually end up getting paid for a full hour because who gives a fuck? It's me. I'm doing all this shit when if I wasn't doing it, the place would go down in fucking flames. So I check that book because I need to write something else down. And I noticed that the person who writes the checks, who's only been around for like a year, crossed out 1 hour and put 30 minutes instead. And that was like a fuck you kind of thing. And that's something that's like people have been talking for a while about how the world is fucked up in that interpersonal relationships are shit and nobody knows how to talk to each other or about something anymore. Everybody's just like autistic. Everybody's just annoying and weird. There's an increase in cluster B personality disorders, which I believe in some of those. Other ones I don't believe. Like BPD, I don't believe it. I think that's just what happens when you don't tell a girl no enough. If you go back 60 years, BPD does not exist. It's just not a thing. Um, but like there are certain cluster B personality disorders that I do find to be like they make sense. Logically, they make sense. And like I just feel that we have an increase in the amount of people who are just like fucking weird like that. Like they're gonna walk into a place that they have no business trying to act like they get to be the arbiter of like, oh, you were late, so you're only going to get paid this much. And they try to be the arbiter who's like, no, you're only going to get paid this much type shit. Oh, excuse me. It's so stupid. There was an argument that I actually had to mediate since we're on this topic. I had to mediate an argument yesterday between two women. And basically, the issue was that at our work, one of the women was told that she would have to do two things. One was her main job, and then two was a secondary thing that they wanted her to do when she had the time to be able to do it. Now, the way she was told this by somebody was that basically they expected her to do two jobs simultaneously for the entire day. But apparently, that's not how it went. I had to sit down with that woman and our supervisor, who happens to be a woman. And it was the craziest thing because I'm listening to them, and they both agreed with each other within the first 30 seconds, and yet the argument lasted between 5 and 10 minutes. It was basically, the woman said, I can't do two jobs at once. Our supervisor was like, I don't expect you to do two jobs at once. The lady says, oh, well, if you don't expect me to do two jobs at once, yeah, I can do my main job and then help out with the second one when it comes down to it. You would think that that's where it would all end and that everything would be all good and it's not some big deal or anything like that. But no, it's not. For some reason, they just had to keep going back and forth, even though the problem was fucking solved. And it wasn't even like you didn't talk to me right. It was literally like as though they didn't agree with each other. It was just the weirdest fucking thing, you know? People don't know how to be human anymore. You know, people don't know how to be human anymore. They haven't known for a long time. I would guess that they forgot how to be human before I was even born, or very shortly after I was born, because I've noticed that people have been like this for my entire life. Or I don't know, maybe it wasn't that much better before I was born, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm sitting here thinking about Dolly Parton, who I could really give a fuck about Dolly Parton. I've never listened to any of her music. If I have, it was by accident. I'm not like some kind of mega fan of hers, and I'm not going to pretend to be. But uh, of course, since she passed away within the last couple of days, there have been a lot of videos of her floating around and stuff like that. And like, I watched some of those videos, and I can actually kind of appreciate her character. I like that she was ladylike, even though for the time she would have been kind of unladylike. By today's standards, she would be very ladylike. The way that she speaks, the way that she speaks, meaning like the mannerisms and the idiosyncrasies and the intonation and all of that other stuff, and then also the way that she's able to formulate a sentence and try to be careful, be mindful of everybody in the room and what kind of scruples those people might hold, right? That's a I really like that. I really liked seeing that. You know, one of the things that she talked about was in one of her interviews, one of her many interviews, was that she knew as a woman how to let a man down easy and not hurt his feelings, how to say no without it being like, no, dummy, without it being that, you know? And so many people don't know how to do that anymore. It's insane, you know? I got into an argument with a guy a couple of weeks ago, and like, it wasn't like a crazy argument, but it's like, I feel like I'm the only one in the world who can see someone do something bad and be like, hey, man, don't do that. Instead of it having to be like some kind of huge fucking thing, you know? Oh, you fucking idiot. Like, people don't know how to talk to each other. They just refuse to talk to each other the way that they probably should, the way that they're meant to talk to each other. And that's part of the reason why the world is so fucked up. And again, that's a reason why I don't believe in autism, is because you're going to tell me all of these people, most of which have no fucking clue how to speak to somebody without hurting their feelings or without being gauche. You're going to tell me that those people have some kind of ability to like label anybody else anything that has to do with any kind of social grace? Like, no. You're not going to tell me that someone who lacks social grace gets to be the one to be like, this person's autistic. You know, have you ever seen normies, quote unquote, normies fucking speak? Have you ever seen them, like, the way that they treat each other? It's ghastly. It's awful. You know, I can't believe the way people are. It's gross. It's grotesque. Grody is what it is. But yeah, I I want to keep working on that autism video. You know, I want to keep working on my autobiography, the autism video. But you know, I have so many other things going on right now. I think I'm finally going to get the setup into the new place. I'm going to be in a basement, you know, I'm going to be in a dungeon is where I'm going to be. But I'm thinking that within the next week or two, I will be able to actually move my shit into that new area. So that's cool. But then in addition to that, I'm really ramping up to compete again is the big thing. Part of the reason I'm getting back into training in Muay Thai instead of just, coaching it is because I have a tournament that I want to get ready for. It's going to be a striking tournament, and it's not going to be like it's not going to be a promotion. It's literally I went to this last year. I had a guy who fought in it last year. I think I may have released a video where I critique his performance. I think I might have done that on this channel. I could be wrong though, but yeah, like I want to do it this year. I was supposed to do it last year, but I was in such horrible shape that I was like, no, honestly, I cannot do that. I simply cannot. Oh, man. Hmm. It's been 16 minutes. Usually we would have somebody. YouTube has been really annoying lately. I'm going to be honest with you. YouTube has been extremely annoying. I don't know what the deal with it is. I don't know if people are just straight up not talking, which is totally fine. It is what it is. Um, oh, geez. Gypsy Crusaders fighting a Jewish guy called King Azule Saturday night on Duel Arena. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one because you know what? That seems interesting. That seems interesting. I wouldn't mind watching that, I guess, but also the BKFC Fenway card is on Saturday night, and I was planning on streaming for that one, which that's yeah, man, I might have to choose between the two. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, I do want to stream for the Fenway card, potentially for the dual arena is what they call it, I guess. That's some new influencer boxing thing, I take it. Or maybe it was MMA or Muay Thai or something like that. I forget what it was. I actually think Gypsy Crusader is doing Muay Thai this time, which if he is, that's probably good for him because Gypsy is more of a kicker and a clincher. He's known more for, how he can utilize his kicks from what I've seen in his fights. But what I was saying is YouTube has been really annoying lately where like I'll schedule a stream and then I'll start it up and the YouTube stream will not start for me. It will not start. I don't know what the deal is. So I have to end the stream that I scheduled and then I have to start up a new stream and then it will finally start. This time the stream started fine, I believe. Let's double check. The stream started fine for the most part, I guess, but the thing is like there is a bit of a quirk that's going on. Like apparently it tried to schedule another stream too, but at the very least this stream started on time the way it was supposed to. But yeah, nobody's talking in the chat right now, so I'm like, "Oh, is nobody in a talking mood or do the people who usually speak are they not showing up or is there some issue with YouTube?" And just as I say that, um, just as I say that, somebody commented, shout out to my boy Kai. Went to high school with him, friendly guy. That's good. That's good. What is going on, Juice Guy 3? Hope you're doing well tonight. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like YouTube is fucking up in the game. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but I've been watching streams and even sometimes videos and frames are dropping. There's some kind of issue with it's got to be on YouTube's end. It's got to be on YouTube's end. I don't know for sure, you know. Fucking either way though, either way. I hope they fixed that shit. We were hearing rumors of prior male creators who all left, and now it's a fully female staff, and it looks like the worry is coming true. The worry for what, Bailey J? You're not talking about YouTube, are you? Are you talking about YouTube? By the way, what's going on? Hope you're doing well tonight. At the very least, I know it was just people who were like, no, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you, Scott, instead of it being some kind of issue from YouTube's end. At the very least, we know that now. At the very least, we got that. But yeah, I hope you're doing well tonight, Bailey J. I'm trying to remember some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. One of the things was Dolly Parton. She died. And, like I wasn't. Also, we need you to chime in on the Steinful Sue A side attempt over Josie dumping him. Damn, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I saw something on Twitter about that, and I hit him up, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet. I hit him up on Twitter because Steinful was good to me. Steinful, like he always liked me. And I always appreciated the love that he had for me. You know, I could see the way that he would edit. He like whenever I was on film, he always did me justice. You know, I appreciated the hell out of that. You know, Steinfell's a good guy. I met Steinfeld, you know, personally when he came here for a few months during Blood Games 1. He's a nice guy. I like him. You know, he's cool. Um, so that's really unfortunate. You know, I did know that they were dating at one point, but I figured they broke up or something like that because you never saw or heard them talking to each other or hanging out since that one time. You know, so that is you know, it's unfortunate, man. You know, there's like don't get me wrong. I've talked about it before, where like you know I've thought about it myself. But there really is never a reason to kill yourself. You know, you never know what's gonna happen, even in the next day or two, even in the next hour or two. You never really 100% know what happens. You might have a very good idea, and you might have a good reason to think you know what happens, but you never know. Like someone could knock on your door and your life changes for good forever, for the better, you know, or who knows, maybe the worst, right? But the bottom line is you never know. Like it could get better, and it has probably about as equal of a chance of getting better as it does getting worse, you know. And the chances only improve the more good things you do for yourself and for others, you know. So that's something that's something to remember, you know. That's something to remember. I read the comment before that, GTA 6. There was a comment before that. That's weird. Hold up. Let me see something here, because you know what? I'm only seeing Juice Guy 3 and Bailey J. Those are the only people that I'm seeing who are excuse me. Those are the only people I'm seeing who are actually um commenting. Oh, interesting. Hold on one sec. I gotta see something. Uh, okay, we're good there. One moment. Un momento, por favor. Un momento, por favor. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing anyone anywhere saying anything about GTA 6. You know, shout out to my boy Kai. Went to high school with him, friendly guy. I don't know. Is Juice Guy 3 making was Juice Guy 3 making like some kind of reference that I don't know about because I haven't played GTA since Vice City and San Andreas? Is that what's going on? I was a little suspicious of the lack of comments, or the not the lack of comments, but the lack of messages from people. You know, I was curious about that, but um, yeah, the bottom line is there's never a reason to do that to yourself, you know, and everybody can get caught up in emotion, right? I get caught up in emotion sometimes, right? I know I play as a very stoic guy, and I am a very stoic guy. I'm very stoic, I'm very measured, but when I do get knocked off my base, yeah, I'm prone to emotionality just like everybody is, you know. Hey, it is what it is. It is the way it is. What you gonna do? That's me. That's me. That's me. But anyway, Kai. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Is his name Kai Stewart? Is it King Kai Stewart or something like that? Is that his? Is that who that is? I actually started training with Peter Barrett, another guy who's going to be on that card. He's not the most friendly guy. If I'm being honest with you, he's an all right guy. He's not the most friendly guy though. He makes some enemies here and there. And granted, when he and I knew each other, I was not really a fully formed dude. I was kind of figuring myself out. I was pretty repellent. So it's like, you know, I can't blame him too much, but like he was kind of a dickhead to me in certain ways. He was nice enough to teach me some stuff that I would use in my MMA fights. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't a complete asshole, but like he was just one of those like I can remember one time, right? He's talking about how much he loves AFI, and I'm trying to just like connect with this guy, right? And again, this is people don't know how to fucking talk to each other today. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm trying to connect with this guy so that maybe we can like bond over a love of music. He's like, "Yeah, dude, AFI rules." And I'm like, "Oh, you like AFI?" And instead of being like, "Yeah, dude, I love AFI. Have you ever heard this song by them?" He's like, "Yeah." He literally answers me like that. And at that moment I was like, "Huh, you know, Pete's kind of a dickhead, isn't he? Pete's kind of a fucking asshole sometimes, isn't he?" You know, like what the fuck is his problem, man? Anyway, oh weird, no, it's gone. I was asking you to talk about the GTA 6 trailer and its horrible white male protagonist dialogue versus the Yas Queen Mexican girl. Yeah, I guess we could take a look at that. You know, we might as well. One moment, one moment, one moment, one moment, one moment. What the fuck? Huh? Oh, it did the it went to widescreen for some reason or whatever the hell that is. Give me the default view. GTA 6, not leaked gameplay, but trailer. We'll go ahead. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. You know, is it leaked gameplay or is it a trailer? Which I'm curious which one of those it is. You know, everyone who used to work on Rockstar Games, the men have all quit, and now the writing is stale and lame. None of the fun edginess was in the 30-minute trailer. Oh yeah, that does suck. You know, man. You know, I mean, look, like that's the type of thing that happens in communist countries, you know, and that's what a lot of these people are trying to make our country. It's a communist country. To be like America, they're trying to make America fall to communism. That's like a 2016 or 2017 talking point, but it's not wrong. You know, it's just annoying that the only people that talk about that are like Punisher Skull, Gen Xers, and I was in Nam, except I wasn't baby boomers. It's that's the only thing that sucks is that those are the only people that are talking about it nowadays, you know. But like that's just what happens is people in these kinds of countries. And it's not even just communism, but communism is the greatest example of it. People in these countries, they don't promote based off of competence. They don't promote based off of what is going to be the best fit for whatever organization. They promote based off of loyalty and ideology is what happens. And yeah, that's what's going to happen is you're going to get dog shit video games, you know. Video games at one point were one of the most important cultural pillars, if you will, in not just America, but really like you know the Western world. There were times where dudes would call out sick from work, they would skip school, they would go to midnight releases. There would be so many like it was there was a TV show dedicated to a TV show, a TV channel dedicated to video games. You know, um, so much of the internet was based around video games because what were these dudes doing when they weren't playing video games? They were usually surfing the web. And a lot of the time they were doing both at the same time because you had dudes that were gaming on computers. And then you also had dudes that, like, you know, they were playing over the internet. You know, so like technically speaking, you're using, but you know, you get what I mean by that. Um, and now because of the fact that we cannot just have nice things, we literally just cannot have nice things. If you want it to just be nice, you're problematic and you're like taken out. You're removed. Well, that's what we get now, you know. I remember GTA 6 was announced, I believe I was a senior in high school. I remember one of the things they announced was that they wanted the map to be the size of the continental United States. They basically wanted to take like I don't know if it was going to be a one for one map or maybe that was like a fake leak or something like that. I don't know, but like I just remember thinking, whoa, that's insane that they can actually do something like that now. I was sitting at a place that I would usually smoke weed with my friends at, and that's probably what we were doing. And, you know, a friend of mine was like, yo, dude, GTA 6, they said they're going to have like the US be the map, dude. Um, you know, it's crazy. People watched a game trailer on Netflix and the Goyim have gone insane. Yeah, that is pretty crazy that it's a Netflix thing, you know? Oh, excuse me. It is pretty crazy that it's a Netflix thing. I don't know what the deal with that is supposed to be, man. Um, but yeah, like to put a not a pin, but to close the book on what I was talking about with Steinful. Steinful was good to me. And he and I don't talk much. I really don't talk to anybody that much from Fish Tank. And I know phones work both ways, but I also do believe that a lot of the people on Fish Tank just are not interested because they either just don't want to be my friend or maybe I just don't have anything to offer them, right? It could be both of those, could be one of them, whatever it is. I'm not mad about it, but I'm just explaining my situation with a lot of these Fish Tank people. And Steinfeld though was good to me. He was a nice guy, right? I was happy to meet him, and he was favorable towards me in the edits, so I appreciate him, and that's why I hit him up when I saw that he was having a hard time. I didn't know that he was going to try and kill himself or anything like that. I just saw that he was, saying bye on Twitter, and I was like, oh shit, I wonder what's going on. Maybe I should hit him up and be like, hey, how you doing? He hasn't gotten back to me yet. He may never get back to me. That's up to him. I'm gonna respect what he wants. And overall, there's never a reason to kill yourself, especially not over a woman. Which is kind of the idea that I got. You don't owe anybody anything is the thing you got to remember. No, like you don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't owe anybody some form of behavior that they expect out of you. There's situations where it's within your best interest to act a certain way and to be able to explain yourself to somebody. Like I do owe an explanation to say like my wife, for instance, right? But overall, you don't owe anyone an explanation. It's none of anybody's business what you're up to or what you're doing and what situation you got going on with a woman. And when it comes to a woman, like you got to treat them like dust in the wind, man. All they are is dust in the wind. One minute they're here, the next they're gone, and it's not fun. But I mean, that's just the way it is, especially in today's world. So one last time, I hope Steinfeld is okay. I hope that he makes a full recovery from whatever the hell he's going through. And oh shit, Steinfeld, how's it going, man? You hello is what I mean. How are you doing though? How are you holding up? Right? You know, I mean, you if you want to hear what I was saying, you can rewind. But basically, I hope you're doing all right. I hope whatever you're going through, it passes, and it will pass. Everything passes, even though you feel like it won't. And sometimes I need that reminder too. Sometimes I'm like freaking out about something, thinking like the world is ending, the sky's gonna fall, or like I'm never gonna love again, or some other thing like that. But it'll get better, man. It'll get better. I hope you're doing well, dude, as well as you can be right now, and I hope you improve. Um, Cuts to Scott going through his attic as a 60-year-old man finds a picture of him as Cage. He sheds a tear, and his son is like, "Dad, what's wrong?" And Scott's like, "Nothing, son." I do have a box. The opening scene from The Patriot where it's like the war chest, and he's putting his pistol and his hatchet away. His pistol and his tomahawk, he's putting it away, and he closes the chest. I have not quite a chest like that, but I'm going to get a chest like that. And I am going to fill it with a bunch of stuff, including some of the stuff from Blood Games, as well as other things like that. I have flags from when I was an activist. I have trophies that we took from Antifa. Um, and I have a sticker collection that we also, I guess you could say, took from Antifa. But, um, yeah, fucking. Yeah, I do have something like that though. And what's gonna happen? Fucking my kids are gonna go through my shit when I die, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck? Whatever, dude. Just throw it away." Meanwhile, it's literal American history. Like that. Like I have American history that you cannot get anywhere else. And my kids are definitely gonna look at it and be like, "What the fuck is this?" And like throw it in the trash or something. They're gonna throw it in the fireplace. You know. What's going on, Binkle 1474? Horp, you're doing well tonight. I herp you're doing well tonight. Hope you're doing well tonight. All right, okay. Is that good? Is that good enough for you? Is that good enough for you? Yeah. It's unfortunate what's happening with Fish Tank. It's unfortunate what happened with Fish Tank. And like I said it last stream. I took that stream down because I was doing such a bad job of speaking. Doing a much better job this time. But I don't wish anything bad on those guys. I just hope that they can get their shit together. Scott calls Steinfeld, you can get the interview. I don't I think the last thing Steinfeld needs right now is to be on a stream and be like, yeah, so this is what happened. I don't think that's something that he really needs right now. It's probably better for him to just like take it easy, avoid the internet for a minute or two, and just try and get it all back together. Just try and get it all back together. Um, Am Dern, all right. Good to hear, Binkle. But yeah, what I was saying is, like, it's unfortunate what happened with Fish Tank. It's unfortunate the way things went down. A lot of it comes down to them just not being very professional. Um, I wish them nothing but success, but I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think they're ever going to get back to the place that they were during season one or even season two. But I mean, hey, fuck, man, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. You never know how it's going to happen. Um, I guess there's some kind of a documentary being worked on or something like that. And I did an AMA on Fish Tank Live on FTL is what it's called. I'm not like a 4chan guy. I've never really used 4chan. I don't hang around on 4chan and stuff like that. But I did an AMA and people asked me to like not necessarily like pick a side, but like they were like, why do you defend this person or that person? And it's like, I don't really defend anyone, if I'm being honest with you. I make it a point to like not do or say anything unless I'm absolutely 100% sure about it, meaning like I'm sure that I am correct and I'm sure that that's the thing that I want to do or say, because I know there's accusations and other stuff like that. I don't know if they're true though, because they didn't allow me to be around for some things. You could tell that they didn't want me around in some capacities, right? Thank you very much, Inferno Jester, for the follow on Kick. Thank you so much for following me on Kick. But and like I didn't see anything too beyond the pale happen. I didn't see anything beyond crazy happen. So since I didn't see anything with my eyes or experience it, I don't think it's my place to be like trying to spread anything around, right? Regardless of what any accusations may be. And then in addition to that, I've also noticed, and I'm not mentioning names here necessarily, but I have noticed that some of the people who come out with accusations and hate and other things like that, some of these people are people that they wanted to be on the next season or they wanted to be brought back as like production or something like that. And then they didn't get brought back. And instead of being like, oh, I guess that's that. I guess that's that. I guess I'll just fucking, I guess I'll just move on with my life. Instead of being that way, they were like, no, you know what? Fuck that. Fuck that. And they started like getting pissed off and like, saying stuff. They started saying stuff very clearly because they were just mad that they weren't going to be brought around anymore. So because I don't see any side that is really deserving of me coming out and being like, yes, I support this. I'm just going to stay back. I don't even really like talking that much. I talk about it because I realized that you have people like Alex B and Bert and maybe a couple other people who they have absolutely like said and done some heinous shit to production and about production. Bert apparently had some kind of lawsuit, and then you had Alex B who like he said some crazy shit whenever he was pissed off at them and everything like that, and they got brought back. So it doesn't have anything to do with whether or not I'm okay with talking about how I didn't like how season 3 went down, or it's not going to have anything to do with me talking about how I think season 4 was like it could have been amazing, but they fucked it up because they just don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? Like that's not gonna have any bearing on whether or not I have a beef with those guys, because they don't give a fuck about that apparently. They'll forgive whoever at whatever point. But like overall, I just don't see a reason to jump to either side, I guess is what you could say. Jet haters in shambles as the fish tank ops eat each other alive. Yeah, and that's I mean, somebody said the documentary was a fake bit that Diamond said just to make people crash out over it, and it worked. She admitted it earlier today on Bant. I mean, I don't pay that close attention to it. You know, I thought I heard multiple people were like getting emails from some production company, and they looked into the production company and they were legit. Maybe it is just a joke. I don't fucking know. You know, either way. Um, what was I gonna say? Like somebody mentioned people eating each other alive. You know, and it's like that's what happens when you have a group of people who, and again, I'm not even mentioning names. I don't think everybody who has ever had a bad thing to say about Jet or Ben or Fish Tank is like a clout whore or something like that. But that type of thing will happen when you have clout whores running around like, well, you're this and you're that, and oh, like I was supposed to be on season 24, but they ghosted me, grr, you know, like that's the type of thing that'll happen, you know. Obsessive fans want people to either be pro Jet or anti Jet and don't see gray areas. Yeah, and that's the thing is like I don't even think it's a gray area. It's literally just like I'm not gonna make something up to try and like slander Jet or Ben or anything like that. I appreciate that those guys had me around for as long as they did. And that wouldn't be right as a man for me to be like, oh, they kind of disrespected me a little bit over season 3. Well, you know what? I saw Jet shooting heroin. I saw a Jet smoking Fent. Like that wouldn't be cool, you know. That'd be fucked up. And then also like, you know, it's just stupid, you know. Diamond said she was lying about being contacted. You misheard. Ah, okay, I see. Interesting. I'm one of the top anti-Jet people, but I'm cool with Scott. I get where he's coming from. He keeps it real. Well, I appreciate that. Whoa, WH, you know. Eh, the most important thing to me is trying to keep my soul as clean as possible, and I do some very unclean things here and there, you know. I know I'm known for kind of being a little you know, a little playful sometimes, you know. I'm known for you know, I'm known as the grape escape guy as well. You know, and I have plenty of issues with plenty of different things, but like one of the things that I've never had an issue with, and I've always been very careful to not have an issue with, um, is gossip and trying to add fuel to a fire when I don't even have anything to add in the first place, you know? I'm very good at staying out of things that don't really concern me. And even me talking about it right now is kind of sort of injecting myself in a certain sense, but I'm not seeking it out. People asked me some questions and I wanted to clarify what I mean by some of the things that I say, you know? If I don't have anything to add, I'm not going to add anything. I'm not going to make something up just to add it. And you know, I see good, well, maybe not good. I see bad on all sides a lot of the time. You know, I'm not saying everybody all the time is bad, but I can see some like foolish decisions that have been made by people on all sides of this little thing, you know. Yes, gossip is precarious, much safer to avoid it. Exactly, you know. People forget during the road trip arc, Alex B was posting videos of him with a gun, saying he was following them. Was he? Damn, that is fucking wild. You know, that would be on site if I ever if Alex B posted if Alex B posted a video of him saying, I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you, you ginger, I'm coming for you, and then he showed a fucking gun. Next time I saw Alex, I would break him in half. I'd break him in half at the waist and I'd use his legs to beat the fucking brains out of his ears, is what I would do. There would be no, oh, well, you know, maybe he was just overreacting or maybe he was joking or no, like my safety is far more important than giving Alex B a fair shake. You know, if I round a corner and I see Alex B after he makes a video like that about me, I'm going to assume that a fight has commenced, is what I'm going to do. You know, it's that's crazy. Um, wait, what do you have? What history? What do you mean? What history? Do you mean a history of like acting out or something like that? Like I'm an admitted flirt, you know? Like I don't have an issue with admitting that like yeah, I'll call a girl pretty sometimes because if I'm being honest with you, I really don't have that much to say to women. So if I am talking to one, I might slip that in as a way to kind of disarm her, or maybe even just gauge whether, like, whether or not this is somebody who's going to humor me, or just because it's fucking fun, dude. You know, it's interesting. It makes otherwise boring interactions a little bit more like loose and playful, and it's fun. You know, we're allowed to have fun here. Um, Fish tank documentary. Scott is the main person being interviewed. It's just me. I sit down in the chair and I never get up. Man, Alex B is a kung fu expert. Good luck, Cobra Kai. That was like I I I wish they brought me in for season 3, and I really do think Sam was trying to find a way to fit me in. I just think everything went to shit. I really think that's one of the big things that happened. I think everything just kind of went to shit and they just didn't tell anybody anything. They should have communicated to me. That's their fault for not communicating to me. And then I have no choice but to assume that they decided they would be disrespectful to me, you know? But I do think that a large part of it, at least from Sam's angle, was that he wanted me to come in to do some shit and it just didn't work out because of the way everything went down with season 3. But if I went in there, I would have told Alex I was a stunt coordinator or like a consultant, a martial arts consultant for Cobra Kai. I can only imagine his reaction if I was to get in there and say that. I can only imagine. I I feel like he would have followed me around like a puppy, is what I feel like would have happened. I feel like he would have been like, "Whoa, really? You're on Cobra Kai? Oh, that's so awesome. That's awesome, man. Hey, 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 I got monkeys. You should teach my monkeys some Cobra Kai is what you should do. Hey, they aren't auditioning, are they? Can I audition? I think I could be a good sidekick to Johnny Lawrence. That'd be so fun." Scott makes the entire documentary as if he was the mastermind and they run with it and comments are just other fish crashing out. That would be fun as hell. That would be really fun. Man. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll get hit up. I don't think I'm important enough. I get left out of fish tank stuff. Like the fans, the only reason I did an AMA on the 4chan thread is because the 4chan thread is funny. The things that they do and say, it's funny. I like them. I appreciate them. If you're from the 4chan thread, thank you. I appreciate you. You've made a lot of fun and funny stuff regarding me. Thank you for the Scotty Rocker meme. I love you guys. I love you guys. The Reddit, fuck the Reddit. Those guys are always mean to me. Kiwi Farms, I, do they even know who I am? you know, I get left out of a lot of fish tank stuff though. Like if you go to the Wikipedia page, I don't think I'm on there. I know they had a Wikipedia page made sort of recently. I'm not on the Wikipedia page. They're probably not going to bother to hit me up. But if they did, honestly, I don't know what I could even tell them if I was to tell them anything, cuz like I'm a pretty open book, they're going to ask me questions I don't have answers to. Scott, you need to host the Bezo versus Shoddy debate. Who is Bezo exactly? He was the owner of one of the Discord servers. Am I correct? I believe he was the owner of one of the Discord servers, right? Um, what was I gonna say? Why are they having a debate? What are they debating? The intricacies of South African apartheid and how it led up to the farm killings of today? Is Shoddy taking the pro-white position on this one? Oh, like I'm just curious what they could be debating. I guess you could say. You know, we try to keep it 100 on 4chan, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you, Inferno Jester. I think you'd have some insight to the early part of the show. Not too many people saw that season 1 to 2.5 period you did. Yeah, well, yeah. I guess you could say that. I was around for all of it. I was around for all of it. Um, but yeah, but that's the thing is, I gotta be honest with you guys. The first time I met Jet, he was a little cold, almost like he was Hollywood. I tried to have a conversation with this guy. I wanted to know where he was from. That was my icebreaker, right? Like, I seem socially inept because, for the most part, I don't walk into a place expecting to have deep conversations with someone. But I know how to make a first impression. I know how to be able to imprint on someone, right? I'm actually very socially savvy when it comes down to it. So I figured I would ask Jet, hey, where are you from? Georgia? And I tried to like make a conversation out of that, and it didn't really take off. I think he probably was like trying to be a little Hollywood, you know. And I say this because I feel that I was never really 100% accepted by those guys. I was useful in some ways, but I definitely was only around because Sam was around. And Jet did hit me up to be on Blood Games. It was Jet, not Sam, who hit me up to be on Blood Games. Um, but I mean, he was hitting up a bunch of people to be on Blood Games. So it's kind of like, well, I don't think that means much, you know. Um, and I say this because I did feel that I was kept away from certain things. Like there was one time where I get downstairs during season 2 and I was like, "Oh, I would do this every now and again. I would hang out for like 10 to 15 minutes just to see what the immediate aftermath of me being up there was. And I was going to fucking do that. And then for some reason, I was kind of shooed out by Sam, if I'm being honest with you. There was a moment where Sam was like, so did you need anything else? And I was like, no. He was like, all right, cool. I'll show you the door. And it's like, huh, interesting. I stay out of the way. I make myself as small as possible. I know I wouldn't have been in the way. I think they probably just didn't like my presence. I'm a very honest guy. I'm a guy who is kind of no nonsense in a certain sense. And I feel that that probably makes people uncomfortable when people don't have good intentions. And I'm not saying that as like they were going to do something bad. What I'm saying is if you're a certain kind of person, you probably do not really like me very much. And I'm not even trying to say that those guys are like bad guys or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that no nonsense personality might make me, in their eyes, somebody that they don't feel like they can 100% trust. Right. And that's why I say, hey, maybe I was kept away from some of the weirder stuff that happened because maybe they thought, no, we can't have this guy around because we don't know if we can trust him. We don't know what his intentions are. We don't know what he wants, or we don't feel that he will line up, I guess you could say. You know, um, but yeah, like I explained that because it's like, yeah, I was around for seasons 1 to 2.5, but also like, I don't know that much about like the morale at certain points. I don't know that much about what's going on when and where and how. I just showed up, I did some boxing and I left. And if I wanted to, like I said, stick around for 15 minutes so I could see like, oh dude, I really laid into Jimmy today. I wonder what he's going to say to TJ right after I leave. I wonder what that's going to be like. How's that going to go? You know, like apparently I wasn't trusted to be able to do that. But yeah, I don't know. Um, he is the admin of the Fish Tank Discord. Talking about Bezo, he is the admin of the Fish Tank Discord and Reddit channel and was on season 5. Yes. That's what I figured he was, but I wanted to be 100% sure because there were a couple of people like I still don't know the difference between Beth and Vimp. I thought Beth and Vimp were the same person. I just thought Beth was Vimp's like real name, her government name. He banned Shoddy from the Reddit because she was crashing out over the fake documentary. They set her up. She took the bait and he troll banned her. Then we went in her stream and banned everyone too. LOL. That is A1 move. A1 move. Bezo is a gay furry. The drama is extremely gay and forced by him. What Bailey said isn't accurate, but the actual details are so inane. Not insane, but inane. It's not worth getting into, says Whoa WH. Yeah, I don't really know Bezo, and I don't know Shoddy like that either. Like me and Shoddy have been around each other at the very least. So it's like, I don't know. No offense to New Englanders, but I often get bad vibes from people from the Northeast. I understand that personality the least in America. Because you know what, I can get it a little bit because I get bad vibes from people in New England because New Englanders think they're smarter than they are because they mistake effort and offensiveness for intelligence. Like I can sit around and watch you do whatever the fuck you're doing and just pick you the fuck apart all day. That doesn't make me smart. And that's what a lot of New Englanders do. They just sit there, they're on the back foot waiting for you to do or say something so they can be like, that's fucking gay, dude. What, you think you think you're smart or something, dude? You fucking idiot. You fucking retard, dude. What are you, some kind of gay? What are you, some kind of homo? You fucking dude, what? You want a raincoat for the rain? You fucking idiot, dude. What are you, a pussy or something? Like that's New Englanders. That's what a lot of New Englanders do. And me, I've never really been like that myself. I've been if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all kind of guy. But there are some people and circumstances that I just can't help myself. Like Letty, for instance. Letty, when we were around each other in seasons 1 and then 2.5, she had a habit of saying things that were just like completely wrong, and not just wrong, but like sort of grating. Like I have no beef with Letty. She and I haven't talked. We don't talk about each other like that. I'm just giving an example of what I'm talking about, where like the New Englander in me can sometimes be activated. Like she said this one thing one time and it stuck with me because she made the claim that men will try to trap women into pregnancies, and it's like that is the most Red Scare Reddit, like r/Red Scare pod talking point I have ever heard. That is not a real thing. Men don't trap women into pregnancies. That doesn't happen. No man has ever done that. Women trap men into pregnancies for a host of different reasons. But why would a man, especially in the year of our Lord 2026, be like, "Yes, I want to put a baby in this woman and she'll have all the power over me to demand cash and fucking prizes." Like why the that's not going to happen. And that's one of those things. I actually remember it because it was so preposterous, but then I also let it go. I didn't actually say anything about it, but I was like I was I was like that. That's how I was when she said that shit. I was like, I'm going to keep my mouth shut, but it's so fucking difficult right now. you know. Man, but yeah, Northeast is a bit aggressive. We don't fit the vibes in other areas. We definitely don't. We definitely don't. I can I can see what is being said by Juice Guy 3, but like the thing is, I'm someone who I grew up around New Englanders, and a lot of these people are shitheads, and it's always the shithead New Englanders that have a problem with me that can't keep their mouths shut, and they're always trying to find a way to like pick at me or to try and like make me into some kind of bad guy or something like that, because that's your instinct. You're never going to assume that maybe you're not that good of a guy, and maybe you have some bad intentions, and maybe you need to like chill out and rethink how you do things and try to act a little bit better to people. You're never going to think that about yourself. Like nobody does. Everybody thinks they're fucking God's gift to the world. Everybody thinks they're some kind of saint, right? That's the way people think about themselves, because that's how the ego functions. So if you are made uncomfortable by somebody, the first thought in your mind is going to be, this guy must be evil. I don't know how, but he must be. Because me, I'm perfect. I've never done anything wrong in my life. Anytime I've gotten into an argument, it was a misunderstanding or the other guy was an asshole. I'm the good guy. I'm the good guy. I'm a nice guy. I don't have anything to worry about. So the fact that this guy makes me uncomfortable, he must be a piece of shit. And I'm going to go out of my way to try and create situations and other things that can justify my discomfort around him in a way that doesn't make me reflect upon myself and my actions, but forces him into the bad guy role. That's the way a lot of people act. And I'm someone who I'm kind of a blank slate. I can be kind of a mirror, or maybe not. Well, yeah, I guess a mirror, but um whatever you inject into me, you're going to get back. And I don't mean like I could be your best friend or your worst enemy. It depends on how you treat me. I mean, you're going to project onto me because I give people so little that they usually will project onto me what they want to see. I'm not really a talker. I know right now I'm fucking king yapper over here because I'm on a live stream. You guys didn't come here to see me just, but I'm not really much of a social guy, and because of that, I can be quiet. I go nonverbal a little bit, right? And if somebody asks me a question that's out of left field, I may not 100% know how to answer that question. So when I try to answer it out of politeness, I fuck it up a little bit, and it's awkward and it's a little weird. Right? Like, I'm not saying, I don't want to do what I'm accusing other people of, right? If I'm being weird, I'm being weird. But like the thing is, being weird is not a good enough reason to find somebody to be like evil, to fling shit, to be hateful towards that person. I don't see a weird person and think, oh, I want that guy to die. I'm not saying that's what most people do, but like I'm just giving you an example of like a hateful thought you might have about a weird person. A lot of people see a weird person and they think, I fucking hate that guy. I don't trust him. He's up to no good. Me, I see a weird person and I just think, yeah, he's a little fucking weird. I may not always want to be around him. In fact, I may never want to be around him, but I don't wish anything, excuse me, I don't wish anything bad on him. And I hope that whatever makes him that way, he's able to figure it out and live a life that is going to be fruitful, you know? But yeah, um, people like that are whack. Yes, sir, they are. The Northeast is a bit aggressive. We don't fit the vibe in other areas. I already read that, but yes, 100%. I grew up in New Jersey. If you want to talk about ignorant aggression, LOL, I kind of love it though. Yeah, yeah, like I don't love it all the time, but it can be fucking hilarious when it's not happening to you. Like Bill Burr is old, he's stale. And also he had his balls taken away by his wife. But like old Bill Burr was the fucking best. There's a reason why he got so popular the way that he did. And I can remember watching him on like Comedy Central in like 2007 or 2008 or something like that. And I usually wouldn't laugh at Comedy Central presents stand-up specials or anything like that. Like, comedy is one of those things where it's like I kind of understand it on a certain level. I'm not saying I'm Mr. fucking expert here, but I wouldn't say that comedy is something that I like personally am like, oh, I want to be a comedian or anything like that. I'm able to watch a comedy show, and even if I don't laugh, I can at least understand, like, I see what's going on there, right? Which, what does that even fucking mean? I'm not making sense right now, and I'm sounding like a dickhead, but um the bottom line is most of these Comedy Central Presents specials, I would not laugh at. I would not laugh at them. They were, they were not special. They were not that special. I'll tell you that one. But Bill Burr, when I first saw him, I recorded it on my DVR and I watched that thing back like 20 times. It's like 2008, and he was like so fucking funny. It's because when the Boston guy really gets going and he doesn't get going at you, he's so funny. It's so funny to listen to guys like that, you know? I feel like the Northeast and Midwest have pretty similar people. We speak directly, and it seems to make a lot of people who aren't from the area uncomfortable. Yeah, I think we can be direct, but direct in different ways. New Englanders we hate. New Englanders are hateful people, you know. It's not just like, yeah, what you're saying is not funny. It's like, you fucking idiot, that sucks. That's not funny. You suck. Like, I feel like that's probably the difference between the two. Then again, maybe I'm wrong, um a thing I noticed with, I would assume you mean Northeast people, is sort of being very private and not wanting to get into anything they consider personal, like religion, excuse me. They just have lots of rules and don't like when people break them. Yeah, the rules are arbitrary is the thing. That's what makes it so difficult. I used to listen to his podcast regularly a long time ago. Burr's stuff on O&A is still fun to listen to now. Oh yeah, for sure, Bill only tells jokes his wife approves of now, and that's the worst part. That's the worst part about it. A generational talent wasted because he did exactly the thing that he warned about. He warned against these things for years on his podcast and even his stand-up specials. Is like, you get a woman who's just like a piece of shit, who just sucks ass, and she tries to control your life all the time. What's going on, TG Smith? Hope you're doing well. Have you watched The Sopranos? I have watched The Sopranos. I watched them actually pretty recently. I started The Sopranos about a year ago, and I finished them, I want to say, in maybe September or October, maybe November. Finished them. I finished the show, right? I finished the show. That was my first time watching through the entire series. It was very good. I will watch it again at some point, but I gotta be honest with you. I think Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, I think either one of those was better than Sopranos. I did love Sopranos, but I feel like I liked those more, I guess you could say. What is going on, Bezo Passan? Thank you for the follow on kick.com. Hope you're doing well tonight. That is the Bezo, I believe. That is the Bezo. Hope you're doing well. Who is your favorite character? My favorite character, that's a tough one. I liked Paulie Walnuts. I liked Christopher. Christopher. Um, I liked Big Pussy as well. I liked Big Pussy. I liked Bobby Bacala. I liked Christopher Moltisanti, and I liked Paulie Walnuts. Some of the best episodes are the Chris and Paulie episodes. Um, I wish Furio got more screen time. That's a common thing that a lot of people say. I wish he had. I mean, he had an arc, but I wish they showed him fucking more stuff up, fucking more people up. I wish that was the case. Are you of Irish descent? Yes, sir, I am. Yes, sir, I am. Thoughts on the Sopranos prequel movie? That's The Many Saints of Newark, right? I have yet to watch that. I actually told the wife that we got to watch that. I heard it's not that good. I heard it's not that good. I heard it's not that good. I have baby nuts. I have baby nuts. Um, I heard it's not that good though. But I mean, I'll have to be the judge of that. But yeah, that's I meant to watch that a long time ago. I watched this back in high school because my teacher had us watch it. I just started the John Adams HBO series. And I remember loving the hell out of it when I was in high school. I was a history buff. They called me the Renaissance man. They called me the Renaissance Man back in high school. And actually, funny enough, one of my teachers remembered me, and they told, because I teach Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. I had a kid who came in, and he stuck around for a few months, and like we'd bust each other's balls and stuff like that. And I asked him, like, "Oh, so what grade are you in?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm a freshman." I was like, "Oh, who do you have for teachers?" And he listed some of them off, and I had some of those teachers back in high school. And I straight up was like, "Don't tell them you remember me. I was a weirdo back then." And he walked right in, went to this teacher and was like, "Oh, hey, do you remember Scott Sullivan?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, they used to call him the Renaissance Man." And he came back and he said that's what she said. And I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me, dude. Really? She remembers me? What the fuck?" But um yeah, yeah, like I was a big history buff in high school and we watched that. So I'm making the wife watch it. Partially is like because I want to watch it, but then I also, my wife is an immigrant. She got her citizenship a little under a year ago. I believe it was like late September is when she got her citizenship. I'm very proud of her. And I kind of want her to understand what the country is. I kind of want her to really get it. So I'm trying to have her watch some stuff. I had her watch The Patriot, which is true 100%. All of it is. I had her watch The Patriot. She says she doesn't like it, but I got to be honest with you. I think she might be bullshitting a little bit. I think she might be a bit of a bullshitter. I don't think she hates it as much as she claims. I think she's just doing that in the way that I do it when she wants to watch some gay like Netflix slop. I'm like, this fucking sucks. I think she's probably doing that. But yeah, we're watching the John Hancock series. I gotta watch Young Washington is another big one that I gotta watch. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Um, Bro is Sigma. He doesn't like foods. Yeah. I'm gonna grab a soda real quick. I'll be right back. Don't you worry. It'll be like not even a minute. I'm back. Ah, you motherfucker. Come on. There we go. Anywho, anyone here on Pokemon Champions? I don't even know what Pokemon Champions is. I was never a Pokemon kid. I played with Yu-Gi-Oh cards when I was younger. And then when the people in my neighborhood got into Magic the Gathering, it was just like I was just like, nah, fuck that. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing a new card game every I ain't doing a new card game every 6 months. There was another one we got into. It was called Duel Masters, and it was like just a cut rate Yu-Gi-Oh! Essentially is what it was. And yeah, I had a video game of it. I had a Duel Masters video game, is what I had when I was a kid for the PlayStation 2. And they had a redheaded character named Rusty that I would always play as because I was like, oh boy, red hair. That's just like me. Oh boy. But yeah, I was never a Pokemon kid. I just couldn't get into it. There was just something about it. I didn't realize what anime was though. I did watch I watched the Pokemon series every now and again. And I had a Pokemon movie on VHS. It was the one where they go to the gym with the Raichu. I forget what the name of the owner of the gym was, but he was a He was like a military guy. He was supposed to be anyway, and he had what was basically the evolution of Pikachu, which was Raichu. I remember watching that as a kid on VHS. Excuse me. But other than that, excuse me. Other than that, I was never really into Pokemon or anything like that. I didn't know what anime was. I had no clue. Like I never thought that it took me until about like 11 or 12 years old. It took me a long time to realize that Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon were not American cartoons. I'm watching these and I'm like, wow, it's crazy how they can be like, like the art style in these is always so crazy. It's like, huh, I wonder who makes these things. It's a bunch of Japanese dudes. Excuse me. That's epic. Yeah. For an hour, it feels like it's been a lot longer than an hour 15. I got to be honest with you. We also have 205 total views, which is a lot more views than I would usually get on a stream. I don't know what's in the water today. I guess people are just like, hey, let's check in on Scott. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else we could talk about. There is the Lindsay Clancy trial, which, man, I don't know what's going on with that exactly. I guess the judge widened the charges or was basically like, hey, you were allowed to find her guilty on manslaughter instead of just murder as well. And I think a lot of people were pissed off about that, but excuse me, you have to understand that with the legal system, things have to be precise. Things have to be precise, right? And oh yeah, I forgot about the GTA 6 trailer thing. We'll take a look at that after. In fact, I'll pull that up now. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, itchy. Everything in the court system has to be precise, and if it is not like 100% the way that it's supposed to be, then people are just not gonna like, oh excuse me, it's not gonna go through. And what I mean by that is if these jurors are not 100% convinced that it is murder, then she's going to be found innocent. She's going to be found not guilty, I guess you could say. Well, I guess you could say that's exactly what is going to happen. Excuse me. Um, damn. I'm all fucked up right now. I'm itching for some reason and I'm a little hot. So I'm starting to lose the plot a little bit. But anyway, the judge said that they could convict on more than just murder. They could also convict on manslaughter, and that actually makes it a little easier for her to go to prison, which I mean, yeah, it's not murder. She will be eligible to get out at some point. But at the very least, she will not be walking free or be put up in a low security mental health institution where she is technically speaking free. She's just committed to the hospital until she is deemed like not a threat to herself or society, and then she'll be let go to live a normal life again, right? uh I don't think it's a bad thing, is what I'm trying to get at, that the judge said, hey, you can also convict on manslaughter charges too, because you could have even just one juror who is not comfortable with trying to convict her for murder, but maybe manslaughter will be the thing that they're a little bit more comfortable with convicting her for. So she will end up going to jail as she deserves. I don't know though. We're gonna have to wait and see. It's just unfortunate that something like that had to happen, or it didn't have to happen, but it happened because a woman was just like that fucked up. She was just that much of a piece of shit, and we just let women get away with whatever the hell they want all the time. And this is, it's not new. It's not new. It's it's unfortunate that that is the way that it is. I had more to say on the subject, but overall, one of the things that needs to happen, I will say, one of the things that needs to happen is men need to rediscover their disgust reflex. That is something that's been taken away from men over the last 60 years in a very purposeful, a very deliberate way, because if you are disgusted by something, there is no way to get you to tacitly accept it or to completely accept it. Somebody who's angry about something, they'll usually blow up. There will be an explosion of rage, and then they will calm down, and then they will eventually just accept that whatever happened happened. That's usually how rage goes. Um, you don't need rage, you need disgust. You need something that is going to be measured and calm and honest. You need something that you're going to be able to be like, no, that's not cool. I don't like that. Stay away from me. Get that away from me. You know, you need to be able to look at a woman who's misbehaving and go, yo, you're kind of gross. I don't think I want to talk to you. Please stay away from me. Yo, hey, you do whatever you want to do, but do it away from me. I don't want you near me. Get the fuck away from me. You need to be able to do that. The mistake a lot of people make is that they think that they have to attack. They think that they have to be angry. And it's like, no, women love that. They love anger. They love when you lash out at them because they love taking that energy and morphing it, like bending and twisting it into something that they can utilize to justify further bad behavior. The only winning move is not to play. Excuse me. And in some cases, that means not dating a woman, right? But in most cases, it means being able to look and be like, yo, that's gross. You're gross. Get away from me. You know? But what is your problem? What is your problem? Oh, excuse me. Facts. Yeah, it's I've seen it in so many different ways. And dudes now they have so many different coping mechanisms. Like one thing that I see people doing is, let's say there's like a particularly egregious example of a woman cheating on a man. She like, she cheats on him with like his best friend, excuse me. And then she like takes pictures and sends it to his phone or something like that, right? You'll have a bunch of dudes who will be sitting there on Twitter like, oh man, see you in the gym, brother. Or like, oh, she for the streets. They react in a way that is almost like a pseudo happy or pseudo excited way. There is like a pseudo approval of what that woman did. It's in the way that someone's like, oh, y'all wrong for that. Oh, you crazy. Can't take y'all anywhere. Like that's kind of the way. That's kind of the intonation or the that's just the way that these people act a lot of the time. I see like Howling Mutant do that every now and again, for instance, right? You need to be able to look at a woman who deserves to be in the stocks and be like, yo, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Please don't ever talk to me. Please stay away from me. I would rather you just not ever talk to me. If I see you walk into a store, I'll walk out. Please get away from me, You need to be able to do that. And all the different coping mechanisms that men have where they either get really angry or they get like, oh, y'all wrong for that, haha. It's just a way for women to feel like they can be worse. They like those kinds of they like those kinds of reactions. They like those kinds of reactions. Talk to a woman and make her feel comfortable around you. uh Make her feel like she's one of the guys and start talking about sex. Now, if you're 31 years old, yeah, it's weird to be talking about sex. That's Faceless, right? Faceless mentioned about like Andrew Tate, like what, you're 40 and you still talk about sex, aren't you over that by now? But like if you're a younger dude, make friends with a woman and talk to her about sexual stuff and see the way she tells you about doing some of the most low down unholy things that you've ever heard, right? Like see the way that they brag about like, yeah, and then his friends walked in the room, and instead of us being like, "Oh my God, close the door," I said, "Hey, pull your dicks out," and then I sucked them all. Like, see, see the glee, see the braggadocious manner that they will talk about like things like that. You know, I literally like the girl that I dated before I met my wife, like the girl that I like was trying to seriously date before I met my wife, the big titty goth girl that I reference sometimes. She would tell all these stories about like, yeah, I went to the club and I had sex in the bathroom, and trust me, I'm retarded for trying to date this girl. Totally, I am 100%. Okay, I was thinking with the wrong head there, but yeah, I went to the club and I had sex in the bathroom, and then I was on my way home and I lost my group of friends. I just wandered off and I found this new group of people that I made friends with, and they said I could stay at their hotel, and they had a guy there, and he woke up and I woke up at the same time, and we went in the bathroom and we fucked. Like literally, like those are the kinds of stories she would tell from time to time, and it's just like, ugh, it's gross, you know. Where is your wife from originally? She's from Brazil, is where she's from. Ex thought I was cheating on her when she deployed and dumped me for her ex. She got back home and tried to get me back. I said no, thank God, but I remember being too nice to her, which I regret. Yeah, you literally cannot be too nice to a woman. They'll just like take advantage of you. You know, it's crazy that you can't be too nice to a girl that you love. That's that's the hardest part about it. You can't be too nice to a girl that you have fallen in love with. It's insane, you know? But hold on. Before it gets warm. Excuse me. Um the point that I was trying to make about that is like tell these like make a woman comfortable enough to share her like most sordid sexual stuff with you, and you will see how braggadocious she is. You will see how like depraved she is, and she's proud of it. It's not like, oh yeah, I did this thing and I probably shouldn't have, but I was thinking the wrong way at the time. And I mean, was it fun? I guess I had some fun. Yeah, but like, it probably would have been better if I didn't do that thing. Like, it's not that. It's like, yeah, I did it. It was great. I'll do it again. Don't you think I'm so cool that I did that thing? And then the second you're like, really, you fucking did that? See the absolute meltdown that they have. Just see the complete meltdown that they have. It is bonkers. You are Catholic, right? I am Greek Orthodox. Yes, sir. I am a Catholic. And nice, I went to a Greek Orthodox festival. They had a bunch of Greek food. It happened to be at an Orthodox church. They had a bunch of Greek products and everything like that. They had some very good lamb there. I am a big fan of lamb. Oh, excuse me. And me and the wife want to go again next year. So that's nice. That's nice. What beer are you drinking? I'm not drinking a beer. I'm actually drinking I went to a farmer's market and they had these sodas there. They're, real cane sugar. It's black cherry and it tastes like black cherry. It doesn't taste like, it doesn't taste like medicine with like a ton of sugar in it. It tastes like black cherry, which is pretty nice. Bottled in Ludlow, Massachusetts. I don't know what the trailer's supposed to be. I don't know if this is supposed to be the trailer. Oh, uh-oh.
What have you gotten yourselves into? I want to know everything. I guess they know we're coming.
Yep.
What have you gotten yourselves into? I want to know everything.
Wanna thrust? What now?
Put it in 4K. I don't even know. I don't even know how to do that. Is that what it's supposed to be? Is that what this is supposed to be?
I guess they know we're coming.
All right, that's the block right here. Be cool. Don't,
What?
nothing.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo, what's up? Y'all trying to smoke?
No. Y'all know Booby?
Booby, huh? Yeah. He ain't here, though.
Well, we're picking something up for him. You know anything about that?
Yeah, go inside and ask for Raymond, bruh.
That fucking that like the pause, the like, huh, yeah, go inside and ask for Raymond, bruh.
Appreciate it.
It's like I another thing, like somebody criticized the writing. I can kind of see what you're talking about. That was, I mean, the pauses in the dialogue is janky, but like the other thing is like you see two people walking up to you see two people, it's a guy and a girl, and obviously they don't belong there. You see them walking unarmed up to the entrance of a fucking place, and your first move is everybody hops up and gathers around and is like, you want smoke? It's like, what do you mean you want smoke? Fucking you think if they wanted smoke they'd be walking up to you to try and have a conversation? Fucking of course not. Like, this is one of those people who don't understand the streets writing dialogue for the streets type stuff. You know, this is like people who grew up in like safe areas. They think they are gonna know how people would speak to each other. You know, like I'm not even saying that these people wouldn't even try something with this dude or the chick. Like, they're scumbags, you know, they're low life motherfuckers. That just is what it is. But like, they're not gonna be like, what, you want smoke on some random dude and a chick? They're not gonna do that, you know.
Man, I don't even want to hear that shit.
Hey,
Like, I don't even want to hear that shit. Hold up, bro. Yo. Y'all need something?
Raymond?
Nah. What you want?
That chick ain't Haitian.
For a pickup.
I know plenty of Haitian chicks. That chick ain't Haitian.
We going
She does not have the phenotype. Everybody here has the Haitian phenotype except for her. She is not Haitian.
right inside.
And what, she's supposed to be Cuban or something? She looks like she's supposed to be Cuban.
Said you was here for a pickup or a drop off.
GTA gone woke with female character, of course, you know?
Straight up, first door on the right.
Yep. How you doing, big guy?
Of course. Hey, pet the dog. Yeah, that dog is gonna be friendly. That dog's definitely gonna be friendly. And you can heckin' wholesome pet the doggerino. You can pet. You know how I know this is a good game? You can pet the doggerino. The doggerino's a good boy because he's a dog, and all dogs are good boys. And he could be a pupper though, depending on how old he is. But as for now, the way he looks, I'll call him a doggo. Is what I'm gonna call him. He's a doggo, and you can go over and you can pet the doggo. It's like, that's so fucking stupid. These people are not. They're not raising dogs as pets. They're raising dogs as things to try and kill people and kill other dogs, mind you.
Nah, never heard of him.
Yo, we're here to pick up for Booby.
All right, hold up. Yo, Ray, these two say they for Booby?
Already told that motherfucker what the fuck going on, man. He seriously sent y'all over here right now.
We're just here to collect, man.
Why he ain't come collect? You ain't asked yourself that.
No.
Look, we could go back empty-handed.
My partner's off the grid right now, you feel me? Until I figure out where the fuck he at and what the fuck going on, we in a holding pattern right here.
So Booby knows all this, right?
Yeah, he fucking knows. Problem is, he only worried about himself.
I'm sure this is pretty accurate to how they do shit too. Like
Let me
fucking
tell y'all
just
something.
apartment blocks
At this
get
point, I'm
taken
really
over
fuck.
by these fucking guys. You
Back
know,
that shit up.
Yo, Ray. It's him. Ernesto.
they pay nothing for the rent in the first
Where the
place.
fuck you at?
Óyeme, mi hermano. We got a situation happening. My friends on the task force are on their way. They say they're paying you a visit, so just let them take whatever they want, okay?
What the fuck you talking about? You know I got a nigga outside your mama house, right?
Raymond, listen very closely, cabrón. Raymond.
The fuck is that?
Hey.
Hey, yo, Ray, it's 12. They tooled up and everything.
Raymond.
Let's get these workers out of here, man.
Estás ahí, coño.
Go away this way. Come on, come on. Hey, move.
I've always been there for you.
What good is? Oh man, this is.
But this what I get?
Please, don't.
What good is this setup if they're not gonna have any way to like stop this type of thing from happening? You know, you're gonna tell me they have no way to see when the cops are coming until the one guy runs in and is like, "Dude, the cops are here," and then the only thing they can do is just run. You're gonna tell me they have no way to like stash everything or like, you know, dump it.
Fucking move.
What's going on, Juan Guzman? See, Scott, this is how you know these writers love to romanticize this lifestyle. They're freedom fighters. Exactly, you know, that's what they're trying to make it into, you know. I don't know. I will say, there is something about this that is a little bit appealing to me from a gameplay standpoint, you know. I do kind of like the gameplay in and of itself, but yeah, the writing is going to be pretty fucking gay. And yeah, that's how that's going to go down. They're going to fight the cops. That's totally how it's going to go down.
Cover.
Cover me. On it. He emerges from cover and then fucking shoots 2 cops and she does nothing.
What the fuck is going on here?
Fuck him.
Can't you fucking handle a bunch of street pushers? Hey, man, this ain't even loaded. Oh.
Everyone politely leave and corporate cops will be the only aggressors. Oh, and cooperate. Cops will be the only aggressors. Exactly. Literally, like, guns down, hands up. Couple of dudes get shot. Now they have a real case to be like, oh, police brutality, you know?
They got more cops coming in from downstairs. Get in here before they get your ass. Thanks, man.
Hey, what the fuck going on? What the fuck y'all doing in here?
You ain't hear all that outside? Now, just hold on a minute.
Hold on. You got motherfuckers running up in my house? You are not allowed to just come in here. Every time I try to buy some piece of something else.
And that's my fault.
You couldn't just open the window. Why didn't you just open the window? Oh, you know what? That'll get me popped for fucking. That'll get me popped for copyright, won't it?
Yeah, okay. You know, Brian wants us there for cocktails.
Uh-huh.
You know what you're gonna wear yet?
Relax, Jay. Okay. What do you think?
Sequins?
Sequins?
Okay, the other one. You know what you're wearing right now looks pretty good, so you wanna head out? I don't wanna be late.
Yeah, all right. Just give me a few seconds.
Haha. Girls, they don't know what to wear. Haha. The beer just appears when you reach in.
Does life feel hopeless? Are you constantly searching for a way
You
out?
might get copyright. Yeah. There's a chance I'll get copyright for something. You know.
Ah, the great outdoors, nature's playground, a carnival of infinite possibilities.
I will skip it. We don't have to watch the whole thing.
You
you. Here's your card. Where's our payment? Please let us know about any further criminal opportunities.
Okay. See you there.
Yep.
This is like
I've been busy.
this is Miami, right? It's not Vice City. It's Miami proper, right? They didn't just do that. They didn't just do that whole thing.
Why survive so long? We can learn something.
Maybe you could.
Yeah. You're the perfect criminal.
Jason, Lucia,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we gotta go.
Go?
Yeah, go, like right fucking now. What you think I needed to live for?
Shit. Yeah, he's cautious, right?
Vamos, vamos, maldita loca el diablo. Enséñame clase de chofera tú eres. Hey, bro, get your ass back here, man.
Yeah, that's gonna help is a fucking bandana.
Got a little something.
They're not gonna identify you any other way.
Getting crowded here. I'm gonna punch through to the freeway.
Negative. Stay low.
Hey, hang on.
Yeah, you know, I don't hate this gameplay. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to get GTA 6. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens. But you know, it's modeled after Miami. Are you from New Jersey? No, I'm not from New Jersey. I'm from Massachusetts. Man, yeah. I mean, from a gameplay standpoint, it looks interesting. It looks fun. The writing is kind of like shitty, obviously. But you know, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't. The worst thing you can do nowadays. Oh, excuse me. The worst thing you can do nowadays is get upset about anything. You know, like you want to critique something, go ahead. But the worst thing you can do is get upset about anything. And a lot of people get upset about stuff, and it does nothing but like cause misery. And then just like how I said, you can't get mad at women, you have to just be disgusted by them. When you get mad about a video game, the people who make these video games, who largely are women at this point, they go, oh, woo, yay! They get like giddy about it. They get like really excited at the fact that you are like, you're pissed at them. You know, you're upset. You're angry about something they did. So it's a situation where you really have no choice but to just say like, fuck it. Yeah, the game sucks. I won't buy it. Or I will buy it and I'll give it a shitty rating. But I'm not going to be all over Twitter being like, they fucking ruined it. They fucking ruined it, dude. Do you support the Celtics? Not really. I'm not a basketball guy. Like obviously I'd rather the Celtics win than lose, but I'm just not a basketball guy. It's never really been my thing in that way, you know? Man. We got a little under 20 minutes left. I'm not 100% sure what to talk about, not 100% sure what to do. If I'm being honest here, I am a little I am a little tapped out when it comes to topics of conversation. MLB. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch sports like that. You know, I do like the Patriots. I watched them in the Super Bowl last year. I went to a Red Sox game on Sunday. They won against the San Francisco Giants is who they played against. Excuse me. There were a couple of home runs in that game. It was pretty cool. It was nice. It was nice. I liked it. It was also Irish Pride Night, so we got some Irish-themed jerseys. Last year, I got some, we went on Brazil night, me and the wife, and we got some Brazil-themed jerseys, so those were pretty cool. And, yeah, you know. Yeah, I'm not really a sports guy, at least not like that. I play sports. I don't watch sports, you know. If I can't play a sport, I'm probably not going to be interested in watching it like that, you know. I grew up as a baseball kid. And, I think one of the best things they ever did to baseball was add the pitch timer. The pitch timer was such a great thing because it made it so you, like what could be a 2.5 hour game is now only a 2 hour game, you know, because the pitch timer doesn't have dudes taking literal minutes between their pitches, you know? Yes. Look at some $50 that I have. I am starting to. Excuse me. Jeez, Louise. I'm not just tapped out of topics. I'm starting to kind of lose steam here in terms of being able to talk about stuff. I'm getting tired, getting a little jumbled, but you know, this was a much better stream than last time. Oh, excuse me. This was a much better stream than last time. I'll say that much. You should watch the Sopranos clips with 20 minutes left. I don't want to get copyright claimed or anything like that. That's going to be the annoying thing if I get copyright claimed. What's going on? Yeah, buddy. How you doing tonight? Hope everything is going well with you. Excuse me. Jeez. Sorry. I was checking my Instagram here. Thank you very much, Sketch 108273 for the follow on kick. Thank you so much. Oh, excuse me. You know, you won't. You just watch GTA clips. I'll probably get copyright claimed later on. Someone will copyright claim me. If not Netflix, it'll be Rockstar or, you know, whoever owns the rights to what we saw on Netflix. There will be a copyright claim. You know, and I will have to, if I don't want the minuscule amount of money that I'm making on this stream to go to whatever corporation owns that footage, I'm gonna have to edit out the footage of me reacting to it. So, you know, I would do that out of principle, not because I care that much about what'll probably be like 50 cents. You know, it's the principle of the situation, you know. Dublin. Dublin what? I've never been to Dublin before, if that's what you're asking, you know. What languages do you speak? I speak English. I'm learning Portuguese. I know a little bit of Irish. I know a little bit of Spanish. But I'm not conversational in either of those, you know. I'm not conversational in any of them yet, you know. Sullivan is an Irish surname, so I was just wondering. Yeah, I'm not from Ireland, you know. My family came from Limerick. If you want to see Sullivans in Ireland, you're usually going to go to the southwestern area. You're going to see Cork, you're going to see Kerry, you're going to see Limerick. You know, that's where you're going to mainly see the Sullivan last name. You know, there's the Beara Peninsula. The Beara Peninsula, where there's a lot of Sullivans, but they would not be part of the branch of the clan that I would have came from. Portuguese for your wife, yeah, pretty much. I'm a dub. You mean like you're from Dublin? Yeah, I want to go to Ireland. Obviously, like you're not going to go to Ireland and not visit Dublin, but you know, I'd rather I want to go to Ireland, visit Dublin, and then you know go to Limerick, not the city. Although I don't see why I wouldn't go to the city, but I wouldn't want to go to Limerick for the city. I would want to go to Limerick for the village that my ancestor came from. We have it tracked down to that, you know, that part, you know. Oh man. Oh. I'm exhausted, man. We got 12 minutes. We got 12 minutes. Crawl with me to the finish line. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we will see. Maybe we'll see if we can watch Gypsy Crusader fight that Jewish guy. I don't know what would be funnier, if Gypsy Crusader wins or if he loses. I don't know. I don't know which one of those would be funnier. If he wins or if he loses, you know. What was I gonna say? but I really want to see the BKFC Fenway card. It's gonna make me sad seeing the BKFC Fenway card because I told myself that I would go to the I told myself for years that if and when BKFC comes to Massachusetts, I will fight on that card. I was that's just what I told myself. And I did not get ready. I did not anticipate that they were going to come. And when they did come, I did not anticipate that they were going to have an event at Fenway Park. I did not think that they would have fights on Fenway Park, at Fenway Park. So it hurts so much, man. Like letting my life get so far out of whack. And that's the big thing. If I could only say one thing to anyone who like asked me what knowledge I have to share that is going to help people, it's never let your life get so far out of control that you can't take an opportunity that you told yourself you would take. Because that's my problem is at the beginning of this year I was 285 pounds. Now I'm about 255 to 260 pounds, depending on the day, depending on how much I eat, right? I am way out of practice. I'm way out of shape, and I was not ready to fight on the BKFC Fenway card. Excuse me. I could have got on that card, and I could have lived a dream that I didn't even know I had. I never thought, hey, it'd be cool if we could fight at Fenway. I would love to fight at Fenway Park. Like, I never thought about that. But as soon as they announced it, I was like, oh, fuck, it's happening. And I might be able to fight on Fenway Park. And then I started trying to work out a little bit and I step on the scale and I realize, oh, shit, I'm not ready for this. If they have me go in there and fight, I'm just going to get hurt. That's all that's going to happen. So I had to watch that train go by. And now this Saturday, I'm going to be watching the fights and there's going to be like a single tear falling. You're going to see it's I'm going to be like that on the stream. It's like, shit, dude, fuck, man. And for what? I think about opportunities that I've given up because I thought I was doing the right thing by like sticking around the gym that I was at, trying to be a good guy and do what I thought was like I thought I was doing right by the owner of this gym, and he just didn't give a fuck and he didn't help me to achieve my goals. Everybody that I know who stuck around in the fight world who left that gym did pretty well for themselves. So like I said, there's that dude who is fighting on the BKFC card who started at the gym that I'm at. There's a girl who competed on UFC BJJ last week. She didn't start off at our gym. She started off in Brazil and then Argentina, and then she came to America, and we were her gym for like I think 3 or 4 years before she ran off to a much sunnier place with a lot better jujitsu gyms than we have, right? She recognized that she wouldn't fulfill her potential there. Me, I was naive. I was foolish to believe that if I stuck around and did right by this guy, that it would come back to me and I would get everything that I wanted out of my fighting career. But that's not the case. That's not the way it works. And obviously I know that now, but it just looking back at some of the wasted opportunities and the wasted potential, I just like I weep and I get angry. I get angry thinking about it. And people will be like, you can't get angry about it. Fuck you. Of course I can. Eat shit. Fuck off. It's ridiculous. Do you remember the Boston Marathon bombings? Nah, what are those? What were the what? The what now? Yeah, of course I remember that. We had the Boston Marathon bombing happened, and then a month later I had my prom at Copley, which is where the fucking bombs went off. Like the place where the bombs went off is where we had our prom. I think a month later, a little bit over a month later is what it was. I think it was like late May of 2013 is when we had our prom, maybe early June. I don't know for sure, but yeah, it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. I can remember obvious feds hanging around, like unmarked cars, unmarked SUVs that obviously had feds just hanging out, looking around for anyone suspicious in them. I remember just walking around town that day and seeing them parked in parking lots, them looking at me like I could have been the guy or something like that. It was pretty crazy. And then Watertown got locked down, and they found him in that boat, you know. That was wild. They found him in that boat. They didn't find him in that boat, meaning the cops. A citizen found him and then was like, hey, I think the guy's in there. Man. Do the hustle. Jokar Sarnaev, yeah, and his brother Tamerlan. And actually, Tamerlan trained Johar. He wrestled in high school. He was a year older than me, I believe he was, and he wrestled in school. So there was a chance that I was around him at one point or another, and I didn't even know it. Just at a tournament or some other thing like that. And then his brother trained at a gym on the North Shore, and I know some guys who knew him. I don't ask them about him or anything like that because that'd be a weird thing. Like, what was that guy like? But they weren't like buds. That's not how it was portrayed. That's not what it was like. That's not what it was like. It was that's crazy. It's crazy to have somebody who basically grew up here, but because they would go back to Chechnya every now and again, like, they were like, oh, actually, this place we hate so much, we decided we would stay here. We have to do this awful stuff. It's like, yeesh, you almost wrestled the terrorist. I think he was smaller than me. I don't think I would have wrestled against him. Let me see. I'm curious. Where was you on the day of the bombings? I was at home. I was just chilling. I was chilling, and I had an iPod Touch at the time, and I'm just scrolling Facebook, and I saw my wrestling captain my freshman year. He was a senior when I was a freshman. I saw a post by him on Facebook, and it said that he he didn't do anything there. He said that there were 2 explosions in Boston at the marathon. And I looked at my mom who was watching the TV, and I was like, there were explosions in Boston. You should turn on the news. And that's when we turned on the news, and we saw what was going on. Yeah, born July 22nd, 1993. He went to Cambridge Rindge and Latin School, a public high school in Cambridge, Massachusetts, in the United States. It's part of the Cambridge Public School District. Basically, he was from Cambridge, is what it seems like. Which, to be from Cambridge, Massachusetts, or to grow up in Cambridge, Massachusetts, basically. Okay, so he was born on July 22nd, 1993, to Anzor Sarnaev, a Chechen, and Zubidat Sarnaeva and Avar. His older brother Tamerlan was born October 21st, 1986. In the years following World War II, the Sarnaev family had been forcibly moved from Chechnya by the Soviet Union and the Soviet Republic of Kyrgyzstan. Excuse me. Anzor and Zubia, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Tsarnaev spent the first years of his life in Kyrgyzstan. In 2001, the family moved to Makhachkala, Dagestan in the Russian Federation. In April of 2002, Tsarnaev and his parents went to the United States on a 90-day tourist visa. Anzor successfully applied for asylum, citing fears of deadly persecution due to his ties to Chechnya. Okay, so this dude was not even 10 years old when he got to America. Okay. Tamerlan had been left in the care of his uncle Ruslan in Kyrgyzstan and arrived in the U.S. about 2 years later. The parents then filed for asylum for their 4 children, who received derivative asylum status. They settled on Norfolk Street in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And again, Cambridge, Massachusetts is a really nice town. It's we call it the People's Republic of Cambridge because it's like a champagne socialist haven is what it is. And for you to live in Cambridge and be like, I hate America, it's like, no, at least live in Brockton. At least live in Brockton. At least live in Fall River. At least live in Lawrence. At least live in Lowell. You're gonna sit there, you're gonna live in one of the nicest cities in Massachusetts, and you're gonna be like, I fucking hate America, dude. You idiot. Oh. There was a Red Sox game on that day, right? There might have been. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I remember it happened, and then I went and, I hung out with my girlfriend at the time. She was the only other Brazilian girl that I ever dated. Excuse me. And we went to a friend's house. We were hanging out at a friend's house. It was me, my girlfriend, and a friend of ours. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy day. Got into an argument with my mom that night. I went and I spent the night at my aunt's house. I do remember that. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. People are fucked up. But anyway, it is about time I get out of here. All right. I want to say again, thank you, everybody. I appreciate the hell out of you. I will, I don't know when I'm going to stream next, but it's most likely going to be Saturday night, because we need to watch some fights is what we need to do. One last time, thank you, everybody. I appreciate the hell out of you. And until next time, peace out.
Sock Sullivan, don't mess with his load, or you will get undone. Spinning round and round, bleeding on the ground. Scotty Rocker, laundry killer, no remorse in this beamer. Fabric assassin, hood cleaner, coming for your Rasta queen. Rape on the washing machine, no use to fight back. MMA, knock your nigga head like a KKK. Hush your nigga mouth if you can't walk the talk. Smokes. Me running really, really fast. Ginger eye round the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Modern day Scotty Rocker laundry lynch. Your nigga head like a KKK. Hush your nigga mouth if you can't walk the talk. Smoke. Me running really, really fast. Ginger eye on the back of me black ass. Chasing me like a devil, pot belly of the beast. Calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Closing inch by inch, got me in a pinch. Mother calling me a dickhead, there is no resist. Oh!